Welcome to the IREL podcast. Are you sick and tired of real estate gurus pitching their next free construction deal, only to find out years later they were completely wrong? Worried the next overseas conference you spend thousands to attend will only be used to sell overpriced lots and deserted developments? Join thousands of other international real estate seekers who are looking for their place in paradise without the sales pitch. Straight from your host, Taylor White.
Hey, podcast listener. Welcome to the Overseas Property Insider Podcast. I'm your host, Taylor White. In just a few moments from now, you'll be hearing about the #1 rated vacation rental mobile app in the world. Just a few episodes ago, you heard from CEO and co-founder of a free and easy web app that makes it fun and simple to plan trips with friends and groups. It keeps everyone on the same page, easily discover activities and restaurants, ability to keep organized with custom itineraries, and much more. Oh yeah, did I mention it's completely free? Head on over to irelpodcast.com/Travify for more details. I'm really excited to sit down and speak with Kirby Winfield, who's the CEO of Dwellable, which is the world's foremost online vacation rental search engine and the #1 rated mobile app for vacation rentals. Mobile bookings for the travel category have grown by over 100% year over year over the last 4 years and have grown from $2 billion to over $40 billion in sales in the U.S. alone. Continue listening to Kirby and I, and you will learn what exactly Dwellable is and why over 300,000 vacation rentals are now listed on it. Why the Dwellable app converts at 2 times the rate of websites because of a book now attitude. Breaks down their quality score algorithm and how you can use it to your advantage, and much more. Instead of telling you more, let's join Kirby from the Dwellable headquarters in Washington. Kirby, what's going on? It's Taylor White. I'm excited to have you on the podcast today, straight from the Dwellable headquarters, so we can get to know you personally. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Hey, Taylor. First, thanks for having me. I'm the CEO of Dwellable. We're the fast, easy way to find a vacation rental on any mobile device. And, I've been in the digital media space and for about, I can't even count that high. Really since the first banner ad, 1996, and have worked in the search engine business and in the advertising technology business. And now I'm fortunate enough to be a part of the Dwellable team here, really trying to change the way people discover great places to rent on vacation.
So Kirby, I know that you say that you're a recovering English major, a big believer in the 5 3-day weekends instead of the long vacations. But today we're here to talk about Dwellable, which is the world's foremost online vacation rental search engine. Can you talk a little bit more about what Dwellable is and your role there?
Yeah, absolutely. So Dwellable is a one-stop shop for finding a great place to stay on vacation via any connected device. And so the concept here is, our technology goes out and finds owner-owned properties, property-managed properties, and sort of everything in between, and aggregates all of that information. And the difference between us and other vacation rental listing sites is that we are mobile first, and that we really focus on big, beautiful photos, and we focus on evaluating the quality of listings and arranging those listings in a way that makes them quick and easy to sort through and find what you're looking for. And my role here at Dwellable is really to help set the vision for the company, make sure we've got money in the bank, and grow the team out so that we can serve all the markets that we're listing in, and we do have 300,000 listings globally now.
300,000 listings, that's huge. But Kirby, before we deep dive into more about Dwellable, which by the way, I love the name, it's very Silicon Valley takeover sounding, is your main focus in app that users can download for their Apple device?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're actually the only vacation rental app for the iPad. And we're the top-rated vacation rental app for the iPhone and Android and Amazon Kindle platforms. So we've had a great response from travelers who download the app. They call it slick, they call it fast, and those are the things we like to hear. What we see out there right now is folks are finding what they're looking for quickly, and that's great news. And yeah, the Dwellable name, it's funny. We thought of it because really, what is the biggest difference between staying in a hotel versus staying in someone's home or in a condo or a cabin or a villa when you're on vacation? And really, when you're in a hotel, you definitely feel like a visitor, and hopefully, when you're in a vacation rental, you feel like you're at home, and it's a place that you might live or at least dwell for a little while. And so, a livable, dwellable home is really what's going to show up first when you're searching for a home on Dwellable, and that's why we chose the name.
Awesome name. And Kirby, I'm just curious, I'm on your website now, and you guys have a great website. I was curious to know, do you know off the top of your head, which percentage of your visitors come from your website, and then which percent come from some kind of mobile device?
Well, the way we think about it is we've got twice the amount of visitors actually converting to bookers, if you will, on the mobile device. So what we see is, folks in a lot of cases on the website are browsing, they're passing it around to their friends, but maybe they're not actively really trying to book a holiday. Whereas on the mobile device, we see folks, if you or I were to download an app, we'd probably be doing it because we really wanted to use it at that moment to actually execute, a transaction. And so we see that happening for mobile. So it's definitely a more frequent occurrence on mobile.
That's a great point. And can you talk more about how travelers are researching and purchasing vacations on a mobile device and where you see this trend heading?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, if you talk to most, even industry experts 3, even 2 years ago in the travel space, what the conventional wisdom that travelers would maybe research a trip on their mobile device, but that they would not be comfortable making a large purchase on their device, and that they would eventually transition back to the PC to conduct that purchase. But in the last 4 years, actually the opposite has happened. Mobile bookings have grown 100% plus year over year for the last 4 years. So to give perspective, that's going from a number $2 billion a year in the US to $40 billion a year in 4 years. It's one of the fastest growing subcategories of the economy. So clearly people are very comfortable not only researching, but booking their travel via their tablets or their phones. And, it's not surprising. I mean, tablets outshipped PCs last year for the first time in history. By 2017, 75% of literate adults in the world will have a smartphone. So if you look at those trends, certainly what we think is, being mobile first and mobile focused eventually is really the end game, and just makes sense.
I love it. Kirby, do you know off the top of your head what percentage of your users come inside the States, and then what percent is from outside the U.S.?
What we can talk about is demand. So we launched our international listings just at the end of last year, and we're already seeing between 10 and 15% of our site and mobile app traffic going to the international listings.
Oh, wow, because it makes so much sense, because I've been traveling quite a lot for the last 10 to 12 years. And one of the things that you see overseas is a lot of people will have a smart device, a smartphone, an iPad, a tablet, whatever, and they use those immediately. A lot of those people don't even have home internet, as a for instance. So I can see this trend growing and people using it, especially overseas. Is that kind of what you guys see?
Absolutely. And, there are a couple of really interesting companies. One is in China, and I believe there's one in Nigeria that are starting to really take advantage of those mobile networks. And certainly Nigeria is a place where, in-home direct line internet is not installed at a high rate, but smartphones are very popular. And so, when we look out there, we see the same trends. And even, as travelers ourselves, we've all been booking vacation rentals for 10 plus years. And we've started to realize that when we're with our families, whether it's a weekend or even traveling internationally, a lot of times we're just bringing the iPads and not necessarily lugging a PC along. So yeah, again, I think there are some cultural shifts at play as well as just, kind of the dry numbers I gave you before, where really solving for the mobile use case and doing that internationally makes a ton of sense. We've cracked the top 200 in the travel category, and I believe 18 countries now on the iPhone and iPad.
That's fantastic. And then Kirby, the first thing that comes to my mind with using an app like this is speed, especially it's much faster than going to a website. Can you talk more about how speed factors into this?
Yeah, sure thing. So I think, there are really two kind of use cases for vacation rental search. And one is when you're really looking to be inspired and explore, and that's when you're maybe more focused on these high resolution photos that we have. You're using the favorites functionality to be able to label, save, and share socially the homes that you're the most interested in. And then there's the use case where you're trying to get away for a holiday weekend, and maybe you forgot to book a trip that you told your spouse you would book, and you're just trying to dive into a specific location quickly, find a 3-bedroom home on the water for less than $400 a night. And in that case, you're blasting through the process. And so we see kind of both use cases happening on the apps. The median session time for the app is a lot shorter than what you see for a traditional vacation rental website. So we do see folks kind of getting what they're looking for more quickly. And that's encouraging and frankly not surprising, again, given the use case when you're sort of on the go. Maybe you're trying to make a decision a little more quickly. And certainly for vacation rental owners who list with us, that's good news, because at the end of the day, they want to make sure that we're their presence on the mobile devices, generating those new leads.
So Kirby, we've talked on it a bit earlier, but another thing that comes to mind with using an app like Dwellable is that people are ready to book now. Now, when we say that they're ready to book now, how do people book vacation rentals with Dwellable?
So that's a great question. So today we are referring travelers directly to the homeowner or the property management firm that represents the listing on the app. Within the next I would say within the next 3 to 6 months, we'll be launching mobile bookings, and that will allow for us to process a transaction and deliver that straight to the end supplier. So that's sort of where things are headed regarding bookings for us.
So then, Kirby, talk to me about what's the main differences between Dwellable, a site like HomeAway, a site like FlipKey or VRBO. Is it just the fact that you guys are focusing on the mobile app, and they're focused on website, and I think they've come with some kind of mobile app recently, or is there some other difference?
So there are a couple differences. One that's really, I think, worth pointing out is that we're an independent company, and we plan to stay that way. So, we're not a part of a larger organization that does many different things in travel and is trying to solve a lot of different problems for a lot of different people. We really have two goals in life. We want to make travelers happy when they're finding a vacation rental. We want to make suppliers happy. And being able to be really, really laser focused on vacation rentals and do that with one brand and one app, I think puts us at an advantage. And I think, another big difference is just we are mobile first. A lot of the other companies are built around, a roll up of a number of different websites that have been sort of designed 15 years ago and have an old business model. Maybe they're showing listings ranked by what people are paying them instead of by the quality of the home. And we just don't think that makes sense in today's sort of travel environment.
So Kirby, if I'm checking out my phone using Dwellable, looking at vacation rentals, it seems to me pictures are very, very important. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys have a quality score algorithm. How does that function?
So that functions sort of in a similar way to how Google ranks its organic search results. So we're looking at all sorts of different signals about each listing. That can be the number of photos, it could be the resolution of the photos, it could be the keywords that are used in the description of the home. We also look at social signals, so things like Facebook likes. We do look at reviews as well. And I'll point out that another big difference between us and some of the other companies is we do not allow owners and property managers to remove their listing and repost it if they don't like the reviews that are showing. And that was one of the things that our founder Adam really got irked by when he was on what we call the vacation rental trip from hell that inspired him to create Dwellable. He showed up and the description was inaccurate and the reviews had obviously been doctored, and so we really have a very a strict policy around that. And we take all of those different aspects of quality and we sort of shake them up and weight them out in a way that's appropriate, and then that's how we return the reviews.
So Kirby, I love that. You have a quality score that's kind of like Google-esque. Do you maybe want to share some secrets on a couple of ways that people can list on Dwellable and get their listings organically to show up a little bit higher than someone else's?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, we actually, in keeping with the Google theme, I believe we're the only company that shows the property manager or owner a page where we actually give you a quality score, not only overall, but based on each of the different aspects of your listing that you can control. And so, if we'll tell you if you're, ranking low for high resolution photos, we've got a place right there where you can click and transfer some photos over to us. If you're not, if your description isn't up to par, that'll be clear as well. And what we see as being kind of the most important aspects of quality beyond high resolution photos and accuracy are our calendars and rate tables. And so, typically owners are pretty good about posting their calendar data. A lot of times, larger property management firms maybe are incentivized to be less transparent about their calendars. But, that's something that we're always striving to do with our partners is to get that accurate data there, because again, we're travelers first, and that's who we're really focused on here. And nothing drives you crazy like spending a bunch of time comparing vacation rentals and then you find out that the calendar wasn't accurate and it's not available when you thought it was.
And then Kirby, talk to me about which types of listings you guys accept on Dwellable. Do you guys just accept like houses, apartments, villas, that kind of thing? Or is it like Airbnb where you can accept basically everything?
No, we want to make sure that we're really focused on a sort of traditional vacation rental inventory for lodgings. And so, we've had folks come to us and ask if they can list their boat. We've had folks want to list, their unfinished basement. And we send them over Airbnb's way. And those guys have done a great job at sort of really helping folks who maybe don't own a second home just make a little extra cash from what they do own. But we're really focused on that, that quality traditional vacation rental lodging category. And our twist on it again is that we're starting with a business model that really is built for today's owner and today's sort of methods of travel consumption via mobile devices.
So then, Kirby, talk to me about how you guys make money. Do you guys charge listing fees or is it performance based?
So today it's free to list, and that's a big thing that we've focused on in building the model is, we're not interested in starting a classified advertising business.
Right.
We really want to make sure that and again, this is something that Airbnb's done a great job of. We want to make sure that we're, driving transactions to suppliers, and because that's a better experience for the traveler. They don't have to go to a third party. They can stay directly on our app and make a booking. It's a better experience for the supplier because, hopefully we're able to deliver them sort of a finished booking as opposed to just a lead where they have to spend a lot of money to close it. So the model will be, as I mentioned, when we do launch the transaction platform, the model will be to take a percentage of the transaction. Although I would say, we've got some room to innovate around business model there, where, we know that owners often don't need as much help finding bookings in certain months, but maybe in other months they need a lot more help. And so we may end up being flexible on pricing based on those kinds of things.
And then Kirby, I'm checking out your site now. It's really neat. There's two functions I wanted to ask you about. There's a portion that says, hey, bloggers, add your post to this page. And then there's a section about being able to send tweets and where you can send tweets about specific areas. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had this program since we started, and it's the idea really is we want to augment the traveler experience. When we're planning a vacation, there, like I said earlier, there are those two kinds of use cases. One is you're really on the go and trying to book something now, and the other is maybe you're doing some more exploring. And so, we do see people on the web doing more exploring, as I mentioned, and so we wanted to solve for that by including interesting photos and commentary about different destinations when folks are looking for vacation rentals in those destinations. And so we have a network of thousands of travel bloggers who've actually contributed to our site, as well as a number of property managers and owners who are tweeting content about the site as well. And we're able to link back their way to make sure that they get recognition when they're doing those things.
Yeah, I love it. It seems very much more real time. So you can get real time people blogging about it, real time images, real things on Twitter, and you can find out exactly what's going on right now versus blog posts from weeks or months ago or old information.
Yeah, we try to keep it up to date, and at the same time, we do have a feeling that if someone writes something really unique about an underground guide to Austin, Texas, for example, that might be something that's relevant 2 years after it's posted. So we try to select stuff that has a long life.
And then Kirby, I know that you said it's free right now as you guys are in beta. Do you have a time frame on when it might not be free?
Well, so it'll always be free to list.
Right.
But in terms of the transaction platform and taking a booking fee, I think right now we're heads down, really working hard to develop the technology, and I would say give us some time. We want to get it right, and we want to continue to build demand and make sure that when we do roll it out, that owners and property managers are actually seeing a good amount of bookings come through the day we do that. So I guess I'd say stay tuned for that.
Wow. Love it, Kirby. Before we wrap up the call, is there anything else we should know about Dwellable, the vacation rental industry, or mobile apps?
Yeah, I think the thing to keep in mind is that the vacation rental industry is going digital at an amazing rate. It's actually about 10 years behind hotels in terms of the percentage of transactions that are being generated digitally today, but it's catching up rapidly. And so, to owners out there, I would just say you want to really focus on where the ball is going as opposed to kind of where it is now. And I think you're already seeing a lot of the organic traffic from the big listings websites go down. And you're seeing them spend a lot more money to try to generate the same levels of traffic they've already had on the web. And they don't necessarily know how to solve problems for mobile or to make mobile apps that are beautiful and slick and fast. And, that's where we think Dwellable can be a real difference maker. And, hopefully we can be that source of leads for owners on the mobile device. And another thing to point out, unlike the web, in mobile, folks aren't always just going to Google to search for travel information. They've really been trained to download apps and use the apps to find what they're looking for. And so I would say that, your SEO strategy, if you're an owner or a property manager, may have worked well for the last 10 years, but in the next 10 years, it's going to be increasingly about finding ways to expose your listings on the apps that are getting the most use from travelers. So I guess I would advise folks to watch this space.
Love it, Kirby. And then what are the best ways to follow, connect with you, and of course, download Dwellable?
Yeah, so, if you search for vacation rentals in any app store, Dwellable comes up first, or you can just search for Dwellable. We're located on the web at dwellable.com. My email is Kirby, Kirby, @dwellable.com. You can follow us on Twitter. It's @Dwellable or @Kirby Winfield. And those are the best ways to stay in touch.
Awesome, Kirby. Thanks again for coming on and sharing about Dwellable, and I hope we can do it again sometime soon.
I would love it, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with your listeners, and thanks a lot for the time.
I absolutely love the call with Kirby today, and I'm a huge fan of moving away from the standard vacation rental website and moving everything to mobile. You can head on over to our site for complete show notes, easy ways to follow and connect with Kirby, and more information about his fantastic website and mobile app, Dwellable. And don't forget, if you're looking for a free and easy group travel planner that makes it fun and simple to plan trips with friends and groups, then I have the perfect solution for you. Plus, it's completely free. Head on over to irelpodcast.com/Travify for more details.
You have been listening to the IREL Podcast with Taylor White. Be sure to hit up irelpodcast.com for more. That's irelpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.